Hi, this is Debbie Bailey with Circle of Love Wreath Company. Today we're going to make a lollipop. This is a peppermint hot lollipop I made earlier. The supplies you'll need are a round foam disc. I bought the smaller one at Dollar Tree. The larger one I bought at Walmart. You'll also need a cookie cutter or a round template to trace your pattern with. These are some straws that I bought for the sticks to cover up the stick to put on your lollipop. I bought those from Amazon. There's lots of different options on Amazon. Sometimes you can find them at the Dollar Tree, but at this point I had to have them, so I bought them from Amazon. These are the dowel rods, but they were too big for my straws, so I had to buy some skewers. I use Mod Podge. You can get that at Walmart or Amazon. And then the glitter sheets. I bought these at Hobby Lobby. They're called Silly Winks, and they have glitter on them. They're foam sheets. Since I'm going to do lots of pink for Christmas, I thought I would make a pink lollipop today. I'm going to use, it's a sugar lead. I'm just going to trace it. You'll need 4 of these, so you'll need to trace 4. 4 pink and 4 white. The next thing I'm going to do is arrange them in a circle, and I'll just layer them. You'll notice that I'm putting one on top of the other. I started with the pink and added white, then pink, then white, until I go all the way around. The last one, I'll kind of tuck in the top and lay it on the bottom. I use my hands to form the shape. You have to kind of play with it to get the spirals to be the same shape. It's okay to just eyeball it. It's not really going to matter. But you do want to make sure that they're the center, there's no space in the center. I lift up each circle and I add my hot glue underneath it. It's going to be very important that you get it around the edge and all the way to the center of your circle. I'm starting on the center and adding around the outside edge and then adding on the inside, just where it's going to touch the circle below it. I proceed to do this all the way around. They're all glued. The next thing I'm going to do is take my round disc, a styrofoam disc. I'm going to set it on top to try to find the center. I'm putting my hot glue on my styrofoam disc. You want to make sure with your hot glue gun that it's on low temperature. And I'm trying to get it all the way around the edge of the foam disc, so when I set it down, it will cover the entire foam sheets. I'm standing up so I can see and try to position it right in the middle. I'll press and hold it down for a few seconds. And I'm kind of making sure my hot glue is spread out underneath. What I'm looking at is the edges, because it's very important for you to have your foam sheets glued all the way to the edge of the styrofoam sheet. So I'll proceed all the way around to go back in and glue the parts that are not glued down securely. Then I'll take my scissors and trim around the edge of the foam sheet. This is a white strip that I cut. I measured the width of my foam disc, styrofoam disc, I measured the width of my styrofoam disc and then just cut a strip to go on it. Whenever I'm doing this, I start at the edge of the color of the side foam strip. So I started on the white spiral in the front of the lollipop. And I just put some hot glue to hold it in place. I pull it back to add my other hot glue. Again, you want to make sure you get it right along the edge, but not too much glue. If you get too much glue, you'll need to go in there and wipe off the top part. I'm trying to pinch it together, and it's going to be okay if it's not exactly, because I'm going to add trim to this lollipop. If you're not adding trim, then you need to make sure you pinch the foam sheets together so you don't see the top or the side of the foam sheet. The foam sheet also pulls. You can stretch it out and pull on it to stretch it to fit a little bit better around it. You can see most of mine are together. This is my second one. I didn't quite have enough with the first strip, so I had to add a second strip. And I leave enough to overlap onto the very first foam strip. I cut it a little bit too long so it can overlap. I'm overlapping the foam sheets now, and then I'll be at the very bottom of my lollipop. This is the trim I'm using. I bought it at Hobby Lobby. It was on sale. It's a braid trim, but I thought it looked really cute. I thought it looked kind of like icing. This is a pink one that I did on the sides. You can see the sides are a little bit different. And I just measure along the spiral of the lollipop, and I make sure I have enough to tuck underneath. Now you'll see here, this is a mistake I made. I didn't put tape on it, and I'll show you in just a moment. When you're using a braid or a rope-like ribbon, you need to put tape on the end of it so that it doesn't fray. So this is where I decided I need to go back and I need to use the tape to prevent the trim from fraying. And I cut in the middle of the tape. Now I'm measuring along the outside diameter to get the outside trim. If I'm going too fast, please feel free to stop the video and rewind it to go back. I'm adding my hot glue right at the edge of the white circle. And I'm going on the opposite side and adding a bead of hot glue all along the white edge of the circle. Then I'll take my trim, I'll leave some extra long on the other side. And I'm just pressing it gently down with my fingers. And you can see I have some extra long on this side. You want to leave enough so you can bring it around the back and glue it on the back. You need to hold it for a few seconds for the glue. I put a little bit of glue on the outside edge and on the back for the trim to attach securely. This time I'm just adding the glue on the next circle on the front of the lollipop, and I proceed to do that all the way around. I'm pressing in the center. Whenever I get done, you'll notice that I'm pressing down in the center so that there's not a big bulk in the middle of the center with the braids. I'm trimming the outer, or trimming off the excess in the back. This is a piece of felt. I'm going to glue the felt down first. I'll let that dry. Now I'm going to use the trim to go around the outer edge on the top of the lollipop. And you can use anything. You can use some rope that has glitter or rope that's shiny. For my peppermint one, I used a red and white rope. to add to it. Now once my felt is all dry, I go back and I trim the felt around the lollipop. Now we're going to add the skewer. I use the skewer with the pointed end. It's going to be very important when you're adding this to get it in the center, and you'll want to make sure that it's level, because if you don't have your stick or your handle for your lollipop, if it's not level, then it's going to be crooked when you try to hold your lollipop up. And what I did is I used my finger underneath the end by the lollipop and at the end of the stick. You'll see in just a moment. See, it's still, I'm working with it to get it level on both ends. So it's there and there. I'm using my fingers. It's the same on both ends. So now I can take it out and I can glue it, or I can just add a little bit of glue on the end there by the lollipop. But I prefer to put glue on the end of my stick. If you'll remember, I told you don't buy the dowel rods that you see at Walmart and the different places. They're too thick and your straws will not go over them. I decided to use the Christmas tree, the gold Christmas tree straw. You just slide it on and push it up. Then I'm going to use my glue to secure my straw to the lollipop. And there we have our finished lollipop. I will add a bow to it. I use these lollipops in my wreaths that I sell on my Etsy shop. Feel free to check out my Etsy shop, Circle of Love Wreath Company. This is the ribbon I'm using for my bow. I just make a loop. I'm going to bring the other side up over. And I'm just working with it to get it. After I put the zip tie to tie it together, I'll work with it some more to get it. There's my white zip tie. It's a very small one. You'll pull it. Don't pull it real tight because you want to be able to adjust the front of your bow. And that's what I'm doing now, is I'm just working with my ribbon to get my bow adjusted. I'm measuring to make sure the loops are the same. And then I just glue, I trim the zip tie, and then I glue the bow to the lollipop. To cover up the zip tie, I usually take some of the pink glitter foam ribbon and cut it small enough to go around the zip tie is what I did. You'll need to hold it in place for a few minutes until the glue dries. This is the finished lollipop. I really like the foam sheets because the glitter on the foam sheets does not fall off. It's very easy to work with. And our finished lollipop. I'm just trimming my tails on my ribbon now. These are examples of the different lollipops that I've made. They're fun, they're easy to make. If you prefer one of these, please let me know in the comments and I can do a how-to on it. If you enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and help me grow my YouTube channel. Thank you. I hope you have a very blessed day.